Welcome to Purely Prabhupada. This is the second video in our questions and answers series. The first question for today that was submitted via our website, purelyprabhupada.com, is, why is there so much danger in this world if Krishna loves us? So actually, Krishna is very kind to give us these troubles. The purpose of the material world is to reawaken our dormant love of Godhead. When people are in danger, they naturally take shelter of God. So these dangers are actually the Lord's kindness upon us. It's His arrangement whereby we can remember Him and re-enter the spiritual kingdom. Our next question for today is it possible to fall from the human life to animal life in the next birth? I heard that we can only go upwards. So our consciousness at the time of death and our activities in this lifetime determine our future. If we live in God consciousness, or at least in the mode of goodness, then we can make progress towards the goal of going back to Godhead, even in our next birth. But if there's no self-control and we live like animals with no regulation, if we engage only in animal propensities, then we can lose that opportunity for further progress on the path of devotional service, at least temporarily. If our consciousness is like that of an animal, then it's very regrettable that we can lose the human form of life and actually, due to our animal consciousness, take birth in the animal species in our next lifetime. Our next question for today, somebody asked, what about the law of attraction? A few years back, somebody said to me, I feel so blessed that I attracted you into my life. But actually, not a blade of grass moves without the Lord's sanction. According to our allegiance, our alliance, either with the modes of material nature or with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, arrangements are being made in your life, either by the laws of material nature or by God directly. So really, Krishna put me in her life, and He put her in my life. We don't need to make mental exercises for inviting abundance and so on. The Lord lives in our hearts eternally as Supersoul. He knows our desires. He knows our wishes. And He sees our every action. So according to our desires and our past activities, all arrangements are made. If there's something that we really want, we can pray, Dear Lord, if you so desire. But know that the Lord is not pleased to give any of us anything that's not conducive for our spiritual progress. Our next question, what about taking a vow of silence? Is it useful in spiritual life? If all that's coming from a person's mouth is mundane sound vibration and gossip, then it's better to be quiet. But to be constantly glorifying God, singing His holy names, that's also silence. It's the proper use of the tongue. There's nothing mundane about spiritual sound vibration. It's actually most auspicious. Spiritual sound vibration is materially silent, and it serves to liberate both the person who's hearing and the person who's speaking. Our next question was actually a compilation of questions from some people from a certain culture who were inquiring why, on our introductory series, Alexis and I did not have our heads covered or were wearing saris. They basically were asking, why don't you two ladies dress properly? So the dress to which you refer is representative of the highest culture, the Vedic culture of India, which was meant for the gradual reawakening of all the citizens of their innate love of Godhead. Now, I've witnessed a lot of women who were dressed according to what would have been regarded proper standard by your judgment, that were wiggling around, singing nonsense stuff in the name of world music or engaging in different sinful activities. I've also seen many men dressed in devotional clothing, dhoti, kurta, who were preaching some mundane philosophy or some nonsense. So it's not just the dress, but the activities and the words that have to be considered. There have been plenty of people who've represented Prabhupada very nicely in the Vedic dress. There's been some who have not represented him very nicely, and there's some who have outright misrepresented him to the point of being likened to wolves in sheep's clothing. The spirit soul has independence. It has free will. And I'm exercising my free will in presenting the way I need to for the sake of the modern world. You might have to learn to see with your ears. And our last question for today, what is karma? How do I come clean from karmic reaction? Karma simply means work. Every action has a reaction. Like is said in the Bible, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. The laws of karma are very intricate, and in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita as it is, by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he writes, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 66, give up all varieties of religiousness and just surrender unto me. And in return, I shall protect you from all sinful reactions. Therefore, you have nothing to fear. And then Srila Prabhupada says, thus, the Lord takes all responsibility for one who surrenders unto him, and he indemnifies all the reactions of sin. So in this regard, there can be a question also of atonement. Atonement has no value because one is only going to go out again and create more karmic reaction. It's like giving an animal a bath. The first thing they're going to do after you've bathed them is go out again and roll in the dirt. There has to be a change of heart. There has to be a change of consciousness whereby karmic reaction is no longer accrued. And that can only happen by studying and applying the principles of devotional service to God and ultimately surrendering to Him.
If you are interested in the subject matter of this video and would like to learn more, please visit purelyprabhupada.com. Ancient truths for the upliftment of the modern world.